Please take the mic.
Thank you, Tarek. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. My family is partly Canadian, and we're passing through Vancouver. I was invited by journalists I know at Rabble, a great title for a journalistic endeavor, and I'm very, very glad to be here. Thank you for the informative statements, and thank you for showing that all the way around the world there are people who will not let this military coup in Egypt go unopposed. It's a very big problem when your elected president cannot call a coup, but that's what Barack Obama is unable to say. Barack Obama knows that it's a coup. He's been told that by one of the foremost members of the United States Senate, Patrick Leahy from Vermont, who immediately said it was a coup. And Patrick Leahy is the head of a committee that handles appropriations. And the problem for the United States, and I suppose other governments, is that if you call it by its right name, if you speak the facts, if you speak the truth, it requires under American law, my country's law, that the funding for the Egyptian military be cut off, or at least suspended. So our president knows that, and he's advised of that, and he and others worry about that, and are under great pressure to simply not use the four-letter word, coup, because if they say it, $1.3, $1.5 billion in U.S. assistance is suspended. Well, does that mean that the dictatorship in Cairo would collapse? No, not necessarily. They're receiving billions from the Saudis, billions from the Emirates, but they would not be able to receive money from the United States. They would not be able to buy equipment to maintain their American weaponry. They would not be able to sustain the parts, the materials, and the rest of it. And the United States is fearful that somehow they would lose leverage. But obviously, the same process maintains a dictatorship that is murdering people in the streets. So the decision has to be made by President Obama, and has to be made very soon in open, about whether to cut off and suspend this aid. I'm in favor of it, and many others in our government are in favor of ending the military relationship, simply because, as a practical matter, the United States has no influence over events in Cairo, no way to block the horrors, the murders, the killings, the tortures, because we're funding them. Only when we withdraw the funding, only when we suspend the funding, do we have any leverage whatsoever. What's amazing about this, at least in the initial 2 weeks, is how many liberal-minded people supported what has happened. That is making it more difficult for President Obama.